Now you can hear me. Need to be sure to turn the microphone on. A small thing. Okay. Well, I guess let's get going. Mike, will you offer the mandala for us, please?
Yes, I will. Thank you. Good morning. Sashi Puki Jukshin Metok Chon Rira Bling Shin Yende Padi Sange Shindu Mikte Wargi Drokun Namdak Shingla Drupar Shok Idam Guru Ratnamandalakam Niryatayami.
Katya, would you offer the refuge, please, in Spanish?
Yes, sure, thank you. Tomo refugio en el Buda, en el Dharma, en el Sangha, hasta que... Tomo refugio en el Buda, Dharma y Sangha hasta que alcance la iluminación por el beneficio de todos los seres. Tomo refugio en el Buda, en el Dharma, la Sangha, hasta que alcance la iluminación para el beneficio de todos los seres. Tomo refugio en el Buda, en el Dharma y la Sangha hasta que alcance la iluminación para el beneficio de todos los seres.
Okay. Well, let's get going. I've got an appointment for with my cardiologist today. So I may find out what's going on with my heart. I'll be sure to let you guys know if it's anything serious. Okay. Let's see. First question, where my sheet go? Katya's got number one. I don't hear you.
The first question is, give the name of the principal text which we use for our study of the realms of existence, along with the name of its author and his approximate dates. The principal text for our study of the realms of existence will be the third chapter of the Treasure House of Higher Knowledge, Abhidharma Kocha, and is written by Master Vasubandhu about 350 AD.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, not much more to say about that. Okay, number two is Mike.
Give the name of the principal commentary we will be using, its author, and his dates. The principal commentary we will be using is The Illumination of the Path to Freedom, composed by His Holiness the First Dalai Lama, Gendon Drup, who lived 1391 to 1474.
I don't have that as the second question. I have
I'm going through. Sorry. Which one is it? 3 realms?
Into 20 different parts. How can the desire realm be divided into 20 different parts?
The division of the desire realm into 20 parts is done as follows. 8 hot hells, craving spirits, animals, humans of the 4 continents, 6 types of pleasure beings of the desire realm.
Does that add up to 20?
8 and 6 is 14 plus... No.
Okay. Just checking.
Wait. Divisions are 20 parts. 8 hot hells.
8 hot hells.
Craving spirits is 9.
Animals.
Animals is 10.
10.
Oh, humans of the 4 continents. There's 14, and then 6 types of pleasure beings.
There we go. Okay, number 3, Svetlana.
Question number 3. Why do the 4 levels of the form realm consist of 17 different sections? The first 3 levels of the form realm consist of 3 different sections each. And the fourth one, level of the form realm, consists of 8 different sections. And 3 by 3, it's 9, plus 8 for the fourth level, it's 17. And each level corresponds to the particular stage of causal meditation.
Okay. This is all detail that goes right over my head. But anyway, okay. Next is Daria, number 4.
Whatever. Sumati. According to the high school of Buddhism, what ultimate causes which of the different realm and type of birth? It's the high school of Buddhism said it's our project forces of by our past karma.
That's about the simplest answer and the easiest question on the exam. If all else fails, it's karma.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We didn't rejoice. We'll rejoice after this. Okay. Next is Katya, number 5.
Explain how the location of the formless realm is determined. The formless realm has no separate place. The 4 heaps of a person who is born there come into existence at the same place where he or she died from the birth before.
I'm having trouble visualizing that, but I'm not too worried about it. Okay. Next is Mike, and that's number 6.
Name the 4 ways of taking birth. The 4 ways of taking birth are 1. Birth from an egg, 2. Birth from the womb, 3. Birth from warmth and moisture, and 4. Instantaneous birth as a complete being.
Do you remember in high school biology talking about spontaneous generation? Where they took, you didn't do that? Oh, we took a bunch of grass from everybody had to go home and the next day bring some grass from their lawn, and we put it in warm water and let it sit for a couple of days and looked under the microscope and it was crawling with creatures. I'll never forget that. Okay. Okay, what's an example of instantaneous birth as a complete being?
Birth in like a hell realm or a pleasure realm. Or a pleasure realm.
Or as a Buddha. Okay, number 7, I used 6. Svetlana, number 7.
Number 7. Name the one general cause and then the 3 specific causes that can lead us to a birth as a craving spirit. The first general cause to be reborn as a craving spirit, it means to perform 10 bad deeds to a medium extent, degree of seriousness. And 3 specific causes. The first specific causes is failure to perform the 3 kinds of giving. The first kind of giving is giving material possessions. The second kind of giving is to provide freedom from fear. It's like to give a shelter or cover some basic needs. And the third type of giving is giving the Dharma. That is the highest type of giving. And the second specific cause to be reborn as a craving spirit is possessiveness or cheapness, not desire not to share what we have. And the last specific cause is jealousy. So not be content that others have what we want to have.
It's interesting when I think about possessiveness or cheapness. I used to, when I was at Diamond Mountain, my tools were very important to my job as taking care of the place. And I did not loan my tools out easily. because A, you had to replace it if it came back in any way other than how I gave it to you. And I've always wondered whether that was possessiveness and setting me up to be a craving spirit. But it wasn't because they were my tool. They were my tools to be able to help so many other people. And I think that was okay. I don't think I'm justifying something that way, but you pause and think about things like this. Now, what's an example of now? Well, maybe I'm possessive of my computer stuff. I guess I am. Oh well. Anyway, okay. Next is Daria number 8.
Okay, name one general cause and then two specific cause for births as an animal. First, it's if you rule the 10 bad, if you did the 10 bad deeds to a less serious extent, it's a general. First, more specific, it's would be breaking minor rules of morality or regular basis, and second, specific, it's if you do or if you did a lot of wrong deeds, or you don't respect people who need respect.
So as an animal. Now, how would that? So what basically this is saying to me is we don't respect animals. And that's coming back because of that, we would be born, that could cause us to be reborn as an animal. And the more this is going to sound pretty weird, but I'm convinced of it. The more I see these YouTube videos of cats and dogs playing with each other and birds and cats playing with each other, the more I think we don't really know what's going on with animals. We think we're the highest form because we can think and build things, but I just love to know what's going on in the minds of animals. I'd love to know what's going on in the mind of whales and dolphins. I would really like to know. Dolphins seem to have so much fun, and whales just, I think they know stuff we'd like to know. Michael Crittenden wrote what's the name of it? Congo. I think it was named Congo, about a gorilla that learns English and what happens because of it. It's worth reading. Anything by Michael Crittenden is worth reading. Okay, that was number 8. Let's go to number 9, Katya.
Yes. The name and describe briefly the 6 kinds of suffering that we must undergo. The first suffering is the fact that life has no certainty because the events of our life are determined by our past karma and afflictions and our mental afflictions, and we don't know which one is the next seed that is gonna ripen. The second suffering is that we can never find any sense of satisfaction. We always want more and more and more, and that gives us more pain. And the third one is the fact that we have to shed our bodies over and over again. The point is that regardless of all the bad deeds we might accumulate in order to maintain this body we have now, and it is an absolute certainty that in the end we will be forced to shed it. The power of the wrong deeds we did for the sake of the body we carry along in our mind, and they bring to us the eventual result of unbearable pain. The fourth suffering is the fact that we have to take birth over and over again, and is a lot of times.
Yeah.
And the fifth suffering is the fact that we have to go from a high position to a low position. The point here is that any good thing that ever happens here in the circle of suffering, life eventually turns into some kind of problem. And the next one is the fact that we have no companion, that at the end of our lives we are alone, and just the Dharma can help us.
Right. Okay, I don't have much to add to that. Well, I think when you come up against the description of the suffering, raised hand, yes, I'm sorry. Interpreter. Well, I guess I can wave at her. Okay, who's next? Oh, I was going to say something about high position. What this really comes down to, all of this, is keeping in mind as you go through your day how everything is karma and emptiness, two sides of the coin. And never catch yourself saying, well, no, catch yourself saying, well, maybe not this time. Because that's all these sufferings are, is our misinterpretation, our incorrect, our ignorant reaction to things going on around us. So it seems pretty easy to say that, but I find I'm pretty constantly thinking about the consequences of my action. So I just I ask you to be aware of the six sufferings and not dwell on them, but be aware of them. Okay, next, Mike, number 2.
Describe the example of seeds for crops of grain used to explain why intermediate beings must logically exist. Chim Jampe Yang explains that a plant cannot come directly from a seed. There must be the intermediary of a sprout. Just so, the being at rebirth in one location cannot come directly from the being at death in another location. There must be the intermediary of a bardo being who travels between.
So what about instantaneous birth?
They would have a bardo being that would then transition into an instantaneous birth.
I don't have an answer for that. I think, what did he say? We had something about that.
Well, if they're taking birth, they're out of the bardo, right?
Instantaneous. You got to be careful. Don't ask a question you can't answer. Well, I'll think about it. Okay. Let's see, that was number 10. Svetlana, number 11.
The existence of intermediate beings is also proven by statements of the Buddha. Describe the 3 conditions under which, according to the Buddha, a child will form in the mother's womb. There are 3 conditions. The first one refers to the presence of a being who is suitable to be a mother and who is still menstruating. The second condition is there is a feeling of desire and then sexual contact between the prospective parents. And the third condition, it is the proximity of one of the beings who lives on smells. That is an intermediate or bardo being.
Okay. Okay. Let's see who's next. Daria, number 12.
How does an intermediate being enter the state of a human womb birth? Oh, if I right understand, if she or he seen their parents from a distance having sex together, and that's all. It's how I understand how.
Yeah, that's pretty clear as mud. So, well, I won't go any further. I was going to make a bad joke, but I won't. Well, most of my jokes are bad, but okay. Who's going to describe for me? Oh, Katya, you're going to describe for me the 8 hot hells.
Is the next one?
That's what I have.
No.
Let me skip over here.
The next one is what is the function of the 4 types of sustenance?
I have the high hell ones.
Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Go ahead, Katya.
Okay, so what is the function of the 4 types of sustenance? Is to perpetuate this suffering life. As Sutra states, the 4 types of sustenance are the very root of sickness, cancer, agony, and they help bring about old age and death.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, I would argue karma brings about the very root of sickness, cancer, and agony. Because I like ice cream, and as long as I don't eat too much of it, it's not going to cause me pain and stuff. Well, I guess I'm getting into details. That's an interesting answer. Okay, Mike, you're on.
Name and describe the 8 hot hells. Revive, so called because the beings living here strike each other with various weapons until they all lie still as death. Then a voice comes from the sky commanding them to revive. This makes them rise and start all over again. B. Lines of black. In this hell, the hell guards first cover beings' bodies with black lines, then use various kinds of blades to slice them open along these lines. C. Gather and smash. The hell guards gather the beings here together and smash them to a pulp. D. Screaming. This hell is named from the shrieks of pain by the beings there seared by heat. E. Great screaming hell. The heat that burns those living there is much greater. Their screams of pain more horrible too. F. Heat. This hell is named from the fact that its inhabitants burn stuffed in red-hot iron chambers. Superheat. The beings here roast in an even more unbearable heat, jammed in ceramic chambers of single or double walls. And finally, no respite. The hell is known as no respite because the beings living there experience unlimited sufferings without the slightest interruption. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Now, don't have trouble sleeping. Okay, that's Mike. That's number 14. Right? So 15, Svetlana.
Name the 4 different kinds of kalpas, eons. There are 4 types of kalpas. The first is the eon of destruction. After it, there is the eon of formation. Then the eon of continuation. And the fourth, the last one, is the great eon.
Right. And I don't really understand the distinctions. The student notes have some nice graphics. That was John, what's his last name? John's interpretation of the waveform of human life, but John Stillwell. Okay, next is Daria, number 16.
Describe the events that open and close the eon of destruction. Okay, the eons of the destruction when the hell called the no respite stay empty.
I find that intriguing why that matters. It lasts up until the point the outer world has come to its end. Okay. Well, let's go with 17.
Describe the length of a great eon. Thus, we can say that the process of the world's formation goes on for 20 intermediate eons. This formation of the world, then its destruction, and the state that follows these destructions are all equal in duration. Each lasts for 20 intermediate eons. As for the fourth and final type of eon, one great eon is made of 80 of these intermediate eons.
Okay.
Whatever.
Whatever. Yeah. Okay. Number 7, Mike.
What is the length of time that a person must accumulate the collections of merit and wisdom to become a Buddha? A Buddha occurs from the act of accumulating merit and wisdom for a period of 3 countless numbers of these great eons. Countless refers to the number 10 followed by 59 zeros.
That's a long time. I have another joke there, but I'm not going to, it takes too long to explain it. You have to be a chemist to appreciate the joke I was going to tell. How many of you took chemistry? Now, do you remember Avogadro's number? Oh, okay. Well, this is going to be a joke about avocado and Avogadro. Avogadro's number is the number of molecules in a mole of gas. Okay, so who cares? So, how many avocados in guacamole? Avogadro's number. Avocado's number. Okay. Well, it lost something in the interpretation. Okay. Let's see. That was 18, 19, Svetlana.
Name the 4 steps in the contemplation of death. The first step is to consider the problems of not meditating on death. The second step is considering the benefits of meditating on death. The third step is to identify what kind of death awareness we seek to develop. And the fourth, the last step is about how to meditate and develop that kind of awareness of death.
A rather sobering thought here, but I don't know what they're going to tell me about my heart. It's going to be, I'm not so much worried as I'm a little concerned that what they're going to tell me, but I've had this heart problem, I think, for many years. So it's going to be intriguing to see if the doctors jump all over this and say I have to do this, this, and this. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Will they take into consideration I've had this condition probably for the last 20 years? I don't know. So the benefits of meditating on death, you'll get your act together and figure out your life so that when you die, you have nothing on your mind, like who's going to take care of the cat, stuff like that. What's the kind of death awareness we seek to develop? I think the death awareness that I focus on is the positive one. I know it's my karma, my finishing karma and projecting karma is going to be what takes me to my next life. So I need to be constantly aware of catching myself, making sure I'm doing the deeds that are appropriate. And when it happens, I really focus my attention on what I need to do and what I've been trained to do. Describe the awareness of death, which is not the one we seek to avoid through meditation. We seek to develop through meditation. Oops. At 21. Who's next? Oh, 20. Okay, Daria.
Yeah. All right. Describes the awareness of death, which is not the one which we seek, to develop through meditation. And if I right understand, it's when we died, we feel fear, and we have a very strong attachment for the other around me, or me, yes, and we hand on this thing, yes, and this is a trap of death.
Right. So the awareness we don't want to develop is be overwhelmed by the pain and the confusion, the hallucinatory events that are supposed to happen. Now, given the fact that no one I know has come back from death, I'm not sure how the Tibetans figured all this out, but Lord Buddha's a pretty sharp guy, so he knew what he was doing. So I think the bottom line to this is, as we die, be thinking of what's coming next And you can be worried about being painful, but what's coming next is more important to me, is more important than what didn't I do. So maybe you start training yourself into, okay, what's next, versus, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I wish I had, I wish I hadn't. And that's where it becomes very important to make sure you put all of your things in order. You're all so young that you don't really think about putting your things in order. But very simply, write it down on a sheet of paper. Tell people where it is. If you don't want to do a formal will, I don't know how wills and stuff are run in Russia. But in this country, if you don't have a will and there's significant money, it goes to the state. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, the state's done a pretty good job of taking care of me all these years, but if you want to be sure where your stuff goes. So if you want to not have this hanging over your head when you die, have a will. Have it where someone can find it. Someone should know where your will is. It can be in a bank deposit box. That's fraught with issues in this country. So if it was me, I would keep the papers in a secure location, which is an anonymous location. So instead of putting it in a box that says important papers, you put it in a shoebox underneath some shoes in the upper right-hand corner of your closet. And as long as you know and other people know it's there. By the way, Mike, there's no shoebox with my will and under my pair of shoes. Just save me the trouble I'm looking for. Anyway, okay, let's go to 21. 21, Katya.
Describe the awareness of death, which is the one which we seek to develop through meditation. We really must try to develop some fear that we might die before we have been able to achieve our goals or our future life, that we might die before we can manage to put an end to anything that might cause us to be born in one of the lower realms, or before we have achieved all those things that will lead you to the higher realms and the ultimate growth.
Good. That's pretty clear. Okay, Mike, you're number 22, I believe.
Name 3 reasons behind the second principle of death meditation, contemplating that there is no certainty when we will die. A. Here on the continent of Zambu, lives are anything but fixed. B. The things that can kill you are very, very many, whereas the things that can keep you alive are very few. C. Our bodies are extremely fragile.
Yeah, just because you think you have a mundane cold doesn't mean it couldn't kill you. So does that mean you go around worrying about things? You become a hypochondriac? Oh, I have a hangnail. I'm going to die. No. What it means is you treat your body with respect and try to avoid those kind of things that could kill you. I'm trying to think how I do that. I was interested in skydiving. I didn't take it up. How many of you know Rashna? Yeah, she's a skydiver. She has thousands of jumps with her, as does her husband. I just, wow. Well, that's amazing. Okay, let's begin to the lessons. I think that's it.
There is
Okay.
the last question. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm sorry, Svetlana, go ahead.
The last question. State the 3 resolutions that we should make after understanding the 9 reasons for the 3 principles. The first resolution is knowing that we shall have to die. We must resolve to begin our practice. The second resolution is knowing that we could die at any time. We must quit our worldly walk immediately and start our practice today. It means not to exit from worldly walk, but it means live by ethical principles, by kindness, and practice what we have been taught by Dharma teachings. And the last resolution is finally, since nothing else can help us, we must devote ourselves to our practice only. It's like a man who is hiking many miles doesn't fill up his pack with a lot of junk that he won't be needing. That is the same. We don't need lots of stuff to waste our time in our life, which will not help us when only Dharma can help us.
That doesn't mean give up your life, give up your family, your parents, your brothers and sisters, your children, your husband, and go live at Diamond Mountain. It doesn't mean that. And people misunderstand, can misunderstand that. What it means is, as we've said all through the class, make the most you can of your life, living moments. Is what I'm doing now the best thing I could do? Well, I'm helping teach students the Dharma, so yeah. But when class is over, I'm going to finish work on the commitment I have for the talk I'm going to give this afternoon, because I have a commitment to do the best job I can there. It has nothing to do with the Dharma, other than the fact that I said I would do it. And I want to make it interesting for the people that are going to be listening. So nothing can help us. We must devote ourselves to our practice only. I think that we have to be careful with this, because it can distract students from enjoying the Dharma. And I think the Dharma is something to be enjoyed. I think there'd be people who argue with me. Certainly my understanding of Buddhist logic is not something particularly enjoyable for me. But if you don't enjoy the Dharma, the practice of the Dharma, then one, you're missing out, and two, that's really sad. Because if you don't enjoy the fact, I enjoy the fact that everything that's happened to me with my health is my fault. To me, it makes it so much easier to deal with. Because if it was any of your people's fault and I wasn't a Buddhist, I'd be blaming you, doing what, getting what accomplished. So how about blaming myself? Well, yes, I did things that were inconsiderate in my past lives. And because that past is my present, and I want my present to be I know my present will be my future, I need to make sure I don't inconvenience people now, period. And focus my attention on that. If I want a clean environment in my next life, I need to pick up trash and dedicate it. If I want teaching in the future, I have to do a better job of teaching myself. And I apologize, this class was not this course is not my best course. I will do much better with the morality classes. There's been a lot of distractions. Okay, now the important thing is we need to figure out where'd my calendar go? I got too many screens up here. Come on, computer. Come on. Okay, calendar. Come on. The problem with having so many screens is this stuff just doesn't come on. Now, come on. Calendar. There we go. Okay. The way we have it set up now, I believe we're starting July. Okay. We start class on the 7th of July. Now, if all goes well and we get all the courses in, we leave on the 28th in the afternoon. So we'd have 6 classes under our belt. If we don't do course 9 at all and wait until September, that seems a long time. Here's what I propose we do. I will structure the classes so that we do 2 classes a course, a class. And that'll get us done in time. You don't have to have the homeworks done any sooner or anything like that. But let's plan on that, because I don't want to have us stop, not have any teachings for 2 months. So, okay, we'll do that. So we'll start on July 7th. Course 9, class 1. Okay, sounds good. So Katya, how does that work with your going to Sydney? We'll be done, so you can go to Sydney without. Yeah, that'll work out pretty nicely. Getting pretty excited about going to Sydney?
What?
Getting excited?
Yes, really.
How's the training going?
I'm starting, so it's good. It's going really good.
Good.
Thank you.
Well, we'll miss you in Romania. But oh, Daria, when's your test of the 17th?
Something, yeah.
You ready for that exam?
I think so. No.
Well, I'll be thinking good thoughts of you on the 17th.
I'm ready. I tried. Remember some tests. I tried.
Well, just relax and have fun taking your test. Okay, well, we have to do a rejoicing. That's a good way to end this course. So, Svetlana, what do you have to rejoice in?
I'm rejoicing that I can spend time with my family, and there are some instances when something that I'm here is quite insulting, but I try to remember that it is my past karma. So I need to be softer in my replies later on. So I'm trying my best to develop new kinds of habits. So I'm rejoicing in my attempts and efforts to be softer, even in the cases when there is some tendency to argue and to prevent it, and dedicate it so that everyone can have soft and kind, supportive speech.
Good, good. Katya, what do you have to rejoice in?
I want to rejoice that yesterday Sheila and me signed the contract for the retreat on December in Ajijic. So we are almost done, and we are happy that you are coming and more students. And I dedicated so we can create a paradise all together.
So, how many people are you expecting?
We have like a limit of 13 people.
Good,
Uh-huh.
good.
So hurry up and sign up.
Thank you for helping LA be able to come.
Yes,
That's thank you very much for doing that. So
thank
we're
you.
interested in, now it's going to be in Chapala. What's the name of the town that's near Lake Chapala?
It's Ajijic.
I can't remember that for the life of me.
The name is
Aki-
Ajijic.
Aki-
It's really close to Chapala. It's almost the same, and it's in the lake, Chapala's lake. So it's a nice place.
Good. So what elevation is it? Do you know the altitude?
I you always ask for altitudes, and I don't know. I will search it.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to it very much. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a great way to start the new year. So, excellent. Okay, Mike, what do you have to rejoice in?
I rejoice that yesterday I had a meeting with the the brand new social media crew for Diamond Mountain, and we're gonna get this Diamond Mountain social media ball rolling. So I dedicate that to new people finding out about the Dharma and it changing their lives and the lives of those around them.
Who's the new media mogul?
There are one of the girls that worked as a volunteer at Diamond Mountain for like 6 months or something is connected to a bunch of social media people that are in like Russia and Ukraine, like that whole sangha. And so she found another girl who is going to, you know, she's like a social media person. Like she does, like, she's like an official social media person as opposed to me, who is, an amateur and everything.
Influencer?
Yeah. So hopefully, we had our first meeting yesterday. So like the energy is good and
Good.
everyone seems excited and everyone's trying to plant seeds and yeah.
Well, don't forget us old fuddy-duddies that like to be contacted by email.
I'm getting closer to that every day.
One of my dear students, Natalia, is serving as my WhatsApp or Telegram. No, what's the Telegram? What's the other one from the retreat in April? So WhatsApp? Well, she's my monitor for me. So she writes me once a week or so and says, here's the skinny, here's what you need to do. So I very much enjoy that because I have no interest in learning yet more software. So anyway, Daria, what do you have to rejoice in?
First, I rejoice we don't forget about rejoice, because when I hear dear Sumati, you said first questions, I said, oh my God, we forget about rejoice. No. And second, yesterday I was in review homework 19. I read some sentences. If you're jealous, you have a lot of obstacles. And I said to myself, oh my God, I always jealous at what I can do. I always on the rake everything in above my head. And I don't know, maybe I like rake.
You broke up.
Because I jealous a lot.
You broke up. I'm not quite understanding what you said.
I don't know how's Svetlana, наступать на грабли.
Repeat the same mistake, maybe to say directly. I don't know how to. Repeat the same.
Maybe. Yes, if I repeat my mistake, I always I see my obstacles.
I'm still not quite catching. I repeat my mistakes and I see my obstacles all the time. Okay, we'll move on to, well, that's it. Oh, me. Can't forget about me. Oh. I rejoice in the fact that I'm going to have some pretty big decisions with what I'm going to do in my spare time. I have 2 articles that I'm still working on, but I'm going to make sure that those are 1 or 2 days a week instead of every day. And I'm going to pledge to all of you today that I'm going to refocus the spirit and my attention that I give to these articles. I'm going to return to my quest for the Dharma and really dig in again. So I rejoice in making that decision and knowing what I need to do and being able to do it. So I thank you all for inspiring me to do that and continuing to inspire me. I rejoice in having wonderful students. And I think that's something that I need to do for 2 reasons. 1, because I want you all to know it. And 2, because that's how I'm going to get good students in the future. So take care. We'll see you on the 7th. And I love you all. Please be careful. Take care. And I'll let you know what about. I'll let Svetlana know and she'll spread the word about my appointment. So, okay. Bye-bye.
Gracias.
We love
Thank you.
stay.
Thank you so much. Please keep teaching us.
Mike, you got the my email with the date?